Welcome to the Planeswalker Project.
Hello brothers and sisters of the multiverse, I hope you're all doing well today. As many of you are probably well aware, the Commander 27 precons will be out in less than a month. Look at them coming out in just a month! And we literally have no time in the world but now to prepare for the showdown of the tribes. Will you side with dragons, the fierce beings of the sky, breathing fire to annihilate the opposition? Or you will be taking up the powerful helm, the feline fury of cats? Meow. Of course you're going to be taking the side of the cats, why wouldn't you? So while I still got all 9 lives, let's talk about the cards you should be getting for the super spectacular set. Meow! So since one of the decks that's been sorta confirmed was cats, we will want to snag up cards that are useful to the cat tribe that might not see a reprint in this set. And to avoid us over-investing in our cat toys, we're going to keep our budget to $30. So at the time of this recording, any card that we discuss in this video will only cost you no more than a combined $30 US. Of course you want to act now, or you might miss your chance to get these cards before they spike, or don't spike. For the pricings that we're going to use in this video, we're going to be basing them off of the TCG player mid prices, though you may find that some sites or stores may ask for more for the card or less depending on their supply and perceived demand. So at the top of our list, and the least likely to see any reprint in the set, is Ajani, the Mentor of Heroes. Yes, everyone's favorite Kitty Walker is finally able to get into his own cat tribal commander deck, and he brings with him a whole lot of value. Right off the bat, his plus abilities both net you a lot of value. The deck will want to make our cats super powerful, and permanently buffing a creature by 3 is absurd. Also, looking at the top 3 cards of your library is just ridiculous in terms of smoothing out your game plan and getting you card advantage. Also, you know, that ultimate ability that lets you gain 100 life! Also, he is currently the most expensive card on our list at the moment at about $10. Next up is one of the more popular cat commanders at the moment, Brim, the King of Oreskos. Since we've yet to see any actual spoilers for Commander 2017 at the time of this video, we can only go by what the commander of the deck actually does to base on what the rest of the deck will be. So far, it looks like rather than going wide with lots of cat tokens, we're going to instead be making one cat immense and smacking in for a hell of a cat scratch. That doesn't mean though that we don't have room for token creation, quite the contrary. I feel with Brim's ability to spawn vigilant tokens, it might be a useful sub-theme to spawn some kitty tokens to defend us from the opponent's counterattacks. He currently sits at around $7, but I do feel like he stands a better chance to be reprinted in this precon. Next, let's go look at some of the stuff we got from Ket Block. We got 2 cats that are definite mainstays in any cat deck, and the first one is prime for the Selesnya colored deck. Pride Sovereign, I'm gonna just call him Mufasa. He literally gets bigger the more cats you have in play, which is already synergizing with our new commander. You can also exert him to make 2 cat tokens with lifelink. Yeah, sure, he doesn't untap during your next unstap, but whatever, we get 2 more cat tokens. Right now, Mufasa can be had for about $1.75. Our second Amon cat is one of my favorites on this list, Regal Caracal. After years of purring, we finally got ourselves a cat lord. This royal feline gives all of our cats a buff plus lifelink, making it very clear that we can include some life gain shenanigans as a secondary strategy with our cats, giving them all lifelink to hinder our opponents from ever knocking us out. It also gives us 2 more cats, giving us already a starting force to defend ourselves with. Regal Caracal is currently at about $1, though I hear green-white cats are a thing in standard, so snag them up in case they go up. Also, Feline Sovereign, a potential win condition for this deck, is only 40 cents, and it's a cat! Moving on to an older set, we have a very interesting card. Nakato War Pride from Future Sight. This cat must be blocked by just 1 creature if able, but when it attacks, you get to put a number of creature tokens into play that are copies of it, equal to the number of creatures controlled by the player you're attacking. So, say you're swinging in an opponent who controls 5 creatures. When the Nakato War Pride attacks that player, you'll get 5 copies of it swinging in at that same player. And remember, each of those creatures can only be blocked by one of your opponent's creatures. Just one. so it's likely you'll be able to get some damage through, especially if you have other creatures swinging in. This card right now can be had for less than 50 cents, making it a great pickup for this deck. Our next card is one that I'm so thankful that we finally get a Selesnya colored cat tribal deck so I can finally use it. Jeanine or Jeanine of Afrava. Quite the name on this one, but we get a powerful cat that has Forest Walk, who whenever he attacks or blocks, creates a 2/2 Forest Walking cat. So he's very similar in his use to Brim, though he is 3 times as costly to cast and is a 5/5. Pair this with Song of the Dryads, and your team of tigers will forever be unblockable. For the longest time, I've yearned for a cat deck so he can be a part of it. He's just been sitting in my collection, collecting dust. Well, now he's getting a forever home. Best of all, he too is less than $1 each. It goes to show what not having a commander deck will do to your price. I just don't get why he needs the sword. In Skyrim, my Khajiit does more damage with his claws than a sword, but whatever. And lastly, the only card on this list that is not a cat, but is something I feel is very useful to grab up while it's ripe for picking and on the cheap, is Temple Garden. It's the only shock land we can include in a green-white deck, but it's the best dual land to throw in this deck. It has both forest and plain subtypes, so should we get anything that searches for either of those 2 types rather than for just a basic land, something like Farseek, we can shoot for this instead of just going for a plain old basic. At the moment, you can get this for only $7 on TCG Player. And in improving any precon commander deck, one of the easiest things to do is upgrade the mana base. It just might not be so cheap sometimes, so since we can get it for under $10, it's definitely something I recommend snagging up while we can. Anyway, that's going to wrap up our discussion of the cards that you should be getting for the Cat Tribal Commander deck from the 2017 Precons. What cards do you recommend people look into who are interested in getting this deck? Stay tuned as we explore this deck further once we reach the release date of Commander 2017. And with that, I will see you all at the beginning of the next upkeep.